So I'm having a conversation with a group of people who are complaining about the dating market, and they're talking about how, like society, a dying society is apathetic and individualistic. And they're not looking at it right. I'm trying to have this discussion. I'm trying to get through them. The reason why the dating market is so messed up is partly demographics. Men have a tendency to want to date women that are younger, or their age or younger, generally speaking. Obviously, there's a lot of individual exceptions to that. But our demographic pyramid, what you call normally a pyramid, is actually inverted. It looks like this, where the younger generations are smaller and smaller because people aren't having as many kids. The consequence of that is that the dating pool shrinks for people. And so that in itself makes it difficult. The other thing, another big reason, is this egalitarianism that comes out of universities. You think of all this LGBT whatever, and then it filters through entertainment and through government policy, and corporations adopt it. And you end up having this mess of a situation where, it's like men, or white men, are considered to be the enemy, especially white men, but men in general are considered to be the enemy, the oppressors. And that in itself has created a lot of problems as well. You fix that by introducing reason, right? These people are talking about wanting to replace the type of collectivism that this is. Feminism is collectivism with another form of collectivism. And it's the collectivism that doesn't work. Now, the demographic issue you can't solve. It just is what it is. But the best thing you can do is have a free association of people, okay? And people are having a difficult time with that. And I always say to them that you treat people how to treat you, okay? So if somebody is not treating you right, you push back or you break off the relationship. It's really easy, right? But it's amazing how people get this idea that other people are there to help them. Oh, we need a society to do this and this and this for them, instead of actually doing it for themselves. So we're talking about codifying some form of enslavement of other people, just so they can get, so that they don't feel like they have to be so needy, right? Really, most of the problem of these incel people are themselves. The fact that they're needy, instead of just living your life and worrying about yourself. And then the other part of this is that they don't have the guts to train people around them how to treat them. And then there's legitimate problems like the egalitarianism, which is a problem. And then, of course, demographics, which is hardly ever brought up. But that actually, I think, is probably the main driver of the problems that a lot of people face. But even if you didn't have the egalitarianism and you didn't have the demographic issues, let's say that the dating pool was easier for people, it actually wouldn't work for them still, because their core problem is that they're not enforcing themselves. They need to develop a stronger sense of themselves so that they can do what they're going to do and project themselves and go after the things that they want. Actually talk to real people instead of, being in their own little circle jerk environment. And this goes for a lot of other groups of people, by the way. It's not just incels. Feminists are very much the same problem. They're on their own little circles, and they're, in their own little bubble that they live in. People need to break out of their bubbles. They need to actually use their head and break out of their bubbles and not expect that somebody is going to be around there to take care of them. They need to learn how to take care of themselves.